Hi, this is Kath Gavin. Welcome to Breaking Bread. Over the next several weeks and months, I plan to share with you my insights on the book of Revelation as I study it. In the book of Revelation, we see God pour out his judgment. But why, when, and upon whom was it poured out? So far, we've looked at the first 4 seals in Revelation 6. The 5th seal reveals the main reason for God's judgment. It was to avenge the blood of the martyrs. I'll read that in verses 9 to 11. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. The martyrs cried with a loud voice from under the altar. In Genesis 4:10, Abel's blood cried unto God from the ground. In Matthew 23, the scribes and Pharisees were warned that all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, all the way back to righteous Abel, would come upon them in judgment. And I'll read that from verse 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zechariah son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. The Pharisees were filling up the measure of their fathers. In Revelation chapters 17 and 18, we see Babylon's cup full to the brim with the blood of the martyrs. Revelation 17 verse 6, And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. In Revelation 18, Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. If we connect Revelation 17 and 18 to Matthew 23, we must conclude that it was the scribes and Pharisees that were responsible for killing God's servants, even his son. Therefore, they were Babylon. Judgment was poured upon them in 70 AD when their house was left desolate, their temple thrown down by Roman soldiers. Why in Revelation 6 are souls under an altar? What altar are we talking about? If we turn to Leviticus, we see a description of 2 altars in the tabernacle of Moses. The brazen altar of sacrifice was outside the holy place, and the golden altar of incense sat in the holy place against the veil to the Holy of Holies. Blood from a sacrificed animal would be placed upon the 4 horns of the altar of incense, and the remaining blood poured around the bottom of the altar of sacrifice. And I'll read that in Leviticus chapter 4. And the priest that is anointed shall take the blood of the bullock, and the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. The souls under the altar, therefore, are a reference to how animal blood was poured at the bottom of the brazen altar of sacrifice. In Revelation 6, those slain for the word of God and for their testimony cried with a loud voice, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood? Did their cries move God to take action? There are other places in the Bible where this happened. Exodus chapter 3. And the Lord said, I've surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and I've heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. So what can we take away from Revelation 6 verses 9 to 11? God is just. He sees everything. He cares deeply for his people and is moved by their cries. Thank you for listening to this short video. In my next video, we'll look at the last few verses in Revelation 6 that describe the sun, moon, and stars being darkened. If you look in the description box below, you'll find a link to my blog with the notes from this video and information about our Zoom fellowship. God bless as you study to show yourself approved.